Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
It's your girl, BD.
It's Foreign's the foodie.
And we are back with another documentary that we're covering.
Back. A very British cult this time, not Brothel.
Oh, you should watch that. You should actually listen to that episode. It was one of the early ones. Like, I think it's even single digits.
Yeah, very early. But I just feel like not everything that is British needs to have a very British. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because the brothel exists that it kind of.
I think it's a thing.
Yeah, it may.
I think it's a series, like a very.
No,
not
it
a
can't
series,
be
but
because
it's not a series, but I think it's the same people that make them.
Really, because the other one's Channel 4.
Oh, is this BBC?
Yeah.
Oh.
And this made it seem not as serious as it should have been.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just a British cult, like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. So, guys, this documentary is on BBC. You can go and watch it there. But let's get into it. So it opens up with our first talking head, Dawn, and she's speaking to the presenter, Karen. So this documentary is shot in the way BD really likes, where you can see or you can hear the producer or documentarian or whatever.
Is her name Karen?
Host. Yeah. K-C-A... No, it's C-A-R...
Because she's the same woman from that documentary where she was chasing that guy down the street. I'm certain of it. When we did... I
know the one you're talking about.
The Jobfished.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about, because I was thinking this is kind of reminds me of that documentary. Let me check.
And she was also chasing someone else down the street again in this one. I'm sure her name is like Cat Nye or something.
Oh, it's Katrin, not
That's
Karen.
It.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's Katrin Nye. Yeah, I knew it was her because she has a very distinct style of,
investigating.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not very BBC. Like, I would expect this more on Channel 4. Yeah. This doesn't really give BBC.
No, it doesn't. But okay, so it opens up with Kat Nye. My bad. And Dawn is speaking to Kat, and she's talking about when she met her partner Jeff, and how they met in like a pub, and she thought he was a bit rough around the edges.
Bit of a sort.
Yeah, a bit of a sort. And then, they kick off from there. Now, Jeff is a bit of me. I kept looking at him.
Do you know who Jeff looks like?
Who?
He looks like Tom Hardy.
Oh, I didn't.
And you know I don't be knowing white actors' names, but I know Tom Hardy's name.
But he doesn't have lips. Tom Hardy has lips.
Yeah, okay, but Tom Hardy sounds lips then. He gives Tom Hardy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, definitely the same energy. But Jeff is definitely like... That's the kind
I get it, yeah.
I don't see those kind of white men anywhere. I mean, even if I did now...
They're in Essex.
Really?
And they're wearing like shirts that are too small to emphasize their muscles, and trousers that are too small to emphasize their muscles. Yeah. So
a lot of the Essex white guys I know look like that. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's where they are.
Yeah. So Jeff is just chatting about how he always wanted to go to the North Pole. Like, that has absolutely no bearing as to where we land, but it's one of his many aspirations.
It's so that we can get an idea of who he is.
A man who wants to go to the North Pole. Okay.
Yeah, he's adventurous. He likes to put himself out there. That's what they're trying to tell us by leaving that in.
Okay.
Leave Jeff alone. He's been through enough.
No, I'm not getting on to him. I'm just saying that there were a lot of things that they dropped in this documentary. I'm just like, why did you say that? Like, and that was one of them.
How did we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here.
Exactly. So he signs up to this book group, and then there's like a webinar, and they're studying this book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
It's mad to think that we got to where we got to because of a book club.
Yeah. But can I just say, I have a friend. He knows himself because as he listens to this, he will know this is a very big I didn't name anybody's name. It's a very big indirect. He's the kind of guy that this kind of thing would happen to, because he's always trying to get me to read.
What, Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Fam. I told you. I've been telling you to read this book.
I hate a Rich Dad Poor Dad nigga.
You don't want to read this book, so there's only so much I can tell you. Always reading all these kinds of... Bro, I've told him, stop reading this shit. You're gonna end up in a cult.
You will end up in McDonald's.
Honestly. But so I'm not naming your name, but you know who you are. I hope you're listening, and this is a cautionary tale for you.
What you should take.
Okay. And I'm sure he's read this book, 7 Habits of Highly... In fact, I'll ask him after this. 100%.
He probably knows Jay, fam. He probably knows Jay.
I'm sure he actually... Fam, you know what? I will actually ask him because I'm sure he does. So through this book club and the book, Jeff.
No, you should actually call him. You should call him, put him on speaker. Be like, hey, have you read this book?
But I can't call him whilst this recording.
Oh, okay, fine.
So
fine.
Yeah. So unless I put the mic to it, then I start the recording again.
We'll call him after, and then we'll put it at the end.
Okay.
So
through this, Jeff meets Jay, who would go on to become his mentor, basically
his bestie.
And we hear snippets of their conversation, and to be fair, like what we hear early on, Jay's really encouraging. Like he's just like, yeah, you know, it's good that your things
it's like positive energy,
like positive vibes, energy, and everything. You know, in this life, it's just good to go to church and call it a day, man, or go to the mosque or whatever you believe in. Just because, child, some of these things, it always descends into a cult, into
madness.
Yeah. So we learned that there's this discipline program, right? And it's like £10,000 for 1 year of mentoring.
10,000 Great British pounds.
For me, it's just like, there's nothing that
I don't understand, bitch.
There's
I don't
nothing.
Understand. I don't understand.
There's nothing that could make me part with that money.
10,000 for mentoring.
Nothing.
There's no mentor on God's earth. There's none.
There's nothing. And you need to ask yourself sometimes in this life, when you take advice from people, what do their own lives look like? A simple question like that would have saved Jeff a lot of heartache.
And also, like, what am I searching for? And why do I believe this person can give it to me?
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah, Jay cannot help anyone.
Jay could not even help himself. And that's facts, because we get there.
No printer. So, from
cold nigga turn the summer to the winter.
So conversations between the two of them become quite regular and intense. There's at first it just starts off, hopes and dreams, all of that, and then it goes into trauma and everything that goes on in his life. And Dawn says they would be on the phone for upwards of 4 hours, and Jeff.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Even if you're in a relationship, being on the phone for 4 hours is mad.
No, because like they live together, or they're at least in each other's space a lot. Yeah,
and
I'm not with my man, and you're on the phone for 4. Is everything okay? And no money's coming from it.
If Jeff and Dawn had an argument, Jeff would explain it to Jay, and Jay would send Jeff a response to send to Dawn. We got there. If Peter Piper picked a pecker, he
did pick a pecker.
So we learn about this other guy,
which is wild and also very icky, because why don't you have an opinion?
Yeah, and why this?
Why are you asking some random guy?
This would give me the absolute ultimate ick, man. Dawn, I don't even know if she's a ride or what, but I don't think she's stupid. Listen,
I'm a bit like, girl.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we learn about Simon. Simon is also a member of this group of people and it's called Lighthouse. So this group is called Lighthouse, and Dawn.
Does it sound like a church?
Yeah, it does.
I feel like there's a church called Lighthouse somewhere.
There probably is. So Simon is a member, and he's being mentored by a guy called Tom Hacker. So Jeff is being mentored by Jay Singh. Simon's being mentored by Tom Hasker. Yeah. Is it Hasker?
Hasker.
Yeah, Hasker. Yeah. Okay, so now we learn a bit about what Lighthouse is exactly.
Also, Simon is like very, like, socially awkward. Yeah. Kind of cute. Like,
Do you know? Do you know who he actually reminds? Do you watch Big Mouth?
Yes, but I haven't watched it. The most recent season.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You know the dad from Big Mouth, the one who is really sexual and is always talking about giving his wife cunnilingus. So Nick Kroll's dad, big lips.
Nick. I know. I remember Nick.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me find him. His name is Elliot Birch. Oh, I remember.
So if Elliot Birch was to be made into like human form, that's what Simon would be.
Yeah, that's what he would look like. Yeah.
That's what. Simon looks exactly like that, and he does.
That's
look
how
like
he looks, and they're the same kind of same kind of energy. Yeah, he's very like timid and like I can see why this happened to him. Jeff, it kind of surprises me because I'm like, Jeff seems like he has a circle, he has a group chat.
He has sauce.
He has sauce. If you were to. Jeff seems like he has friends, right? So if he was to tell his friend, oh yeah, I was on the phone to my mentor for 4 hours, your friend would be like, oh, you mad? And then it's like you now snap out of whatever it is that you're going through. Yeah, but Simon seems like he's more to himself and like doesn't really, have that many. I mean, he could be, the Don Dada, but that's not how it comes across.
And he does look like he would go down on his girl for ages just to make her happy.
And we love that. That's a great trait.
Yeah, we love that. So we see footage of Jay saying that Lighthouse is a networking group to help with self-improvement. But now we see footage of the odd guy on top. So the odd guy on top is Paul Wall, and he's the head mentor.
He is the odd guy on top.
He leads Lighthouse, and he's basically what Pastor Toby is to SPAC
Nation. Yeah.
Paul is to Lighthouse.
Paul is to Lighthouse as Pastor Toby is to SPAC.
Exactly. So he says,
what we're doing is helping human beings to actually gain control of themselves. Not for us to gain control of you, but for you to gain control. Because that's where your power is.
And it's like, this is just word salad.
So what are you saying? And so who has the power and where is the power? Like, what are you saying?
Ciao. So everyone agrees that he's super charismatic, which is obviously like a number one trait of cult leaders. So Paul would talk about the money he made in South Africa and his close relationship with the guy who wrote that book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And obviously this guy that wrote that book, he's seen as like some sort of demigod amongst the
book reading society.
Yeah, amongst the rich dad, poor dad kind of niggas.
Yeah.
Bro, I know for a fact this guy has read this book.
He has. We'll call him.
Yeah. So Jay tells Jeff there's this opportunity to be part of the inner circle, which is effectively like a trainee mentor. So it's called an associate elect. And he says
when they start naming all these rankings, I think you just know that there's nothing good can come of this.
Mm-hmm. So it costs $25,000. And he's like, it's going to be closing shortly, so you need
by $25,000 we mean 25,000 Great British pounds.
Oh yeah, not Naira.
This is not Naira. This is not Naira.
Oh, Ghana cedis. Like,
this is not cedis.
Yeah.
It's not rupees. Please, it's not pesos. It is Great British
GBP.
Pounds. Just so we're all on the same page. Okay.
His Majesty's coined. So yeah. I mean, maybe you lost His Majesty. Actually, he's not
my king.
That is not my king. So. He's like, it would be closing shortly, so you need to do it quick. What is the difference between Jay and Forex guys? Nothing. There is nothing. They're all the same.
It's all the characteristics of
it's all
a scam.
pyramid, and it's all pyramid scam.
Yeah,
that
but it's like
couldn't draw.
They make it seem as if it's an opportunity, like you'd be lucky. And then they put a time limit on it, so you feel rushed. They do the same thing, like when there's a sale, flash sale, 24 hours. If I don't buy now, I'm not okay, cool, but in 3 months time the flash sale is still flashing.
Yeah,
so clearly there was nothing to be gained from this.
Yeah. So yeah, he's like, listen, you need to do it now because it's going to be closing shortly, and the next opening is going to cost $50,000, then it's going to go to 100, and then 250. So Jeff is like, shit, I got to do this now.
Exactly. And also they don't describe it as paying, they describe it as like investing in yourself.
Yeah. So it's like, he's like, so Jeff is thinking, I need to do this because I want a better me, and this is the only way. So he pays. So Jeff starts working at Lighthouse full-time over COVID because he's unemployed, like many people were during that period. Meanwhile, Simon then quits his job to join. So Simon was not unemployed, but he found himself in that position.
He made himself unemployed.
He made himself fully available. And you have to ask yourself, okay, you say you're working for Lighthouse, but you're not salaried. So what are you actually doing? So you're a volunteer. You're fun. This is like when Michael did the AIDS rabies walk thing, and the only money
crime thing.
Yeah, no.
The rabies. Oh, after he hit
Meredith, and the only money that was donated was the money Jan donated, which was Michael's money. And Andy, he was like, we've only donated, like, raised $330, and Andy was like, isn't that your money?
You might as well have just donated it. Like, why did you do this whole thing?
But that's what these men are doing. So basically Jeff is saying that, like, sometimes they would be on calls, like this job would be calls, like just be on calls for 10 hours of Paul chatting.
Wild.
You'd be on call from morning till 6 p.m. just chat, and it's like
the sun will rise, the sun will set, you're still on the call.
You know what, I think Dawn, I've concluded just in saying this out loud now, I think Dawn is an idiot, because whilst he was on those calls for 10 hours, things needed to be done around the house. So this man is not bringing in money, he's not helping around the house, all he's doing is sitting on a call for 10 hours and then essentially funneling his own cash, and you stayed with him.
He's doing nothing. And it's like, the thing is, she says later that, like, you know, I didn't want them to get him, because really the only reason he's out, I guess, is because of Dawn I guess Dawn kind of saved.
Did
I
she?
think so.
How?
I mean, we'll get there, I guess, but I don't really see what, like, I can't. Okay,
I don't
now,
think they went into enough detail about what snapped in his head, but
I just can't see, because when I was watching this, I was like, okay, cool. I live with the love of my life, yeah. If he now is on these random calls, yeah, for hours at a time, listen, bro, sort it out. What is going on here? He quits his job in Simon's situation.
But why your situation is even different is they met 6 months. So I think it was like 6 months.
They were together for 6 months and then they started.
Yeah, so
6 months.
That's not enough time. That's not enough time.
That's nothing. That's not even gestation, babes. I would be on my bike.
I'll
say, you have Lighthouse have you. Because it's not even just like, oh, you're wasting time and you're unemployed and you're not making any money. In fact, you're spending your money. It's also like, these people are coming in between our relationship. What am I fighting for?
There was so much.
I said, have him, please. It's been 6 months. Have him.
I need Jeff to show I need you to post a dick pic on the internet. We need to know if that's what it is. Was it worth it? Yeah, that's what I want to see. I would like to see it. Yeah.
You're ridiculous. Ridiculous. Stop me.
But yeah. Oh yeah. So 7 days a week he would be on these calls, and then basically
even the Lord rested.
They said, not today.
No Sabbath for you.
On my watch. Sleep, food, nuts on my watch. So they'd be on these calls for 7 days a week. No rest, no sleep.
No sleep.
Club, other club.
Call, other call, transcribe, other transcribe, transcription, retranscribe. No sleep.
Yeah, and that was it. They were transcribing everything Paul was saying as if he was some sort of demigod. Like, literally,
to what end?
It was almost like they felt like he was Jesus, and if they didn't write down everything he said, people wouldn't believe in the future that there was this man on earth.
That's happens. Yeah,
it's like they were his disciples. It was weird. So Jeff became withdrawn from family and everything around him. He didn't go to his dad's birthday in Mexico because, like, and if it was me, I'd be like, hasta la vista, see you, sayonara. Don't let the good Lord hit you
with the good Lord, split you, kick racks.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would be on that plane to Mexico.
So long, see you, sucker. Arrivederci. That is an amazing episode. Do you know what? My Wife and Kids, I'm so sorry. My Wife and Kids, yeah, is top tier TV. I love it with everything in me.
When I think about the fact that our kids will not have these shows, it's sad.
No, but they're going to watch it.
Yeah, but it's not going to have the same.
It's not going to be the same.
When we were watching it, that was life right then. It's not going to be the same. Like, I remember watching One-on-One and I was like, because it was so, like, that was live.
Yeah.
So I was fantasizing about Brianna's life because that...
Yeah, and it made sense at the time. It was but this is how our parents feel about it. My dad loves to show me some like fucking old movie. To be honest, he showed me some good stuff, but like old stuff that he used to watch. Yeah, and it's like he feels it so passionately, and I'm watching it because I'm like, all right, bro, I guess.
I guess.
That's how our kids are gonna be like. Okay,
like I get it, I guess, but yeah.
Alright, cool. If you like it, I love it.
So Karen tells us there are around 20 Lighthouse members, and they live together in the Midlands, and one of these houses has 7 members in it.
Listen, now, when you start living together, it's like we've been collecting the pieces of cults from the beginning. 1, there's some kind of message, some kind of, oh, you need us. 2, there's payments. 3, they take your time. 4, they influence your mind. You can't make a decision without them. The top tier step to, if you weren't sure that you're in a cult, you know that you're in a cult because you're living.
When you start living together.
That's when you know I'm in too deep.
Okay, anyways.
You may never escape.
Yeah. So Simon says that Tom persuaded him to move in with him, and this was a small shared accommodation with little to no privacy.
No, it's not even like Tom persuaded Simon had a house and Tom said, I'm gonna come live with you. It's not even like Tom was like,
I didn't clock that was
Tom forced himself into Simon's. I'm sorry, if you're my mentor, yeah, why do you need to live with me? Why is that something that you need to do? It's
Simon
like what's that show you told me to watch on Disney Plus, The Patient? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why are you bringing me into so that we can do treatment the whole time?
Did you tell me that you didn't tell me how you found the fit end though?
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. Yeah, but I don't know how I wanted it to end.
But I think it ended in the most realistic way.
Yeah, that he died, didn't it?
Yeah, he was never.
Spoiler alert,
girl.
Sorry,
girl.
So watch it still though. It's good. It's obvious that he was gonna die, man. Come on, let's be serious.
No, I did at points think he was gonna get out.
Yeah, you thought he was gonna get out?
Yeah. Because you know me, I romanticize everything.
I didn't think he was gonna get out. Every episode I was like, when is he gonna die and how?
How amazing was Steve Carell?
Yeah, but he's amazing. I love him so much. I loved him from Evan Almighty, and that was before I watched The Office.
Apparently, Evan Almighty is like one of his shittest movies. I love that movie.
I loved him in it. Yeah, and I loved it. I was a kid anyway when it came out. It's feel good and like, you know.
No, but he, like, honestly, like, it was, because sometimes you see Steve Carell and you still think, oh, Michael Scott, but like, it was just like
there was no Michael Scott.
There was not. He was a different entity.
But then imagine Michael Scott in that situation. To be honest, he would never be a therapist. But imagine if he was like kidnapped. Imagine Michael Scott. That would be amazing.
I'd pay good money to see that episode. Good money. So
what, £10,000?
Maybe 25.
25. Short time only.
So Jay starts encouraging Jeff to sell his house.
Listen. Anyway, this is what I'm saying. God, like, I love you in that, yeah, but you are giving the money to the wrong people. Because I promise you, yeah, if I had £10,000, if I had £25,000, if I had the money to buy a house in this here England, yeah, nobody could con me out. Nobody, not even hell nor high water.
Now I'm just thinking I want to be a cult leader. That's all I took from this documentary. I really want to run a cult.
It pays, innit?
Like, what did I was talking to somebody, it was even Kingsley, was talking about Creed, and Creed said, I've been in a lot of cults, sometimes as a leader, sometimes as a follower. You have more fun as a follower, but you make more money as a leader. There you go.
It's true.
So they should just spin off of just Creed's life. That would be really funny. So Jay
I'm sure there's a video on YouTube. I want to say the word, but you're going to start thinking about porn, so I'm not going to say it.
A compilation. Guys, come on.
What episode was it that you said that in? I was like, I can never hear that word the same ever again.
Yeah, but guys, come on. When you hear compilation, don't you just think of porn? It's always
no, we don't. We think of a collaboration, a collection.
They always have a compilation of compilation of BBC, fam, there's always they're always compiling everything into one video.
You've ruined that word for me, so thank you.
2.5 lit years after Jay and Jeff met each other, Jeff sells his house and gives Lighthouse 28k after remortgaging it and taking
Did he give him 28?
Yes, 28k of the sales, and this is after he'd already remortgaged and taken out 32,000. And whatever else he made from that sale, he would have still funneled it back into Lighthouse. So now, at this point, Dawn is with a man who is homeless, owes the bank money.
He's home free,
owes the bank money, has no
way to pay the bank said money, and not a window to throw it out of,
and continues to funnel in money into. I just want to put this into perspective, because sometimes we as women, we need to be serious.
It's not Captain Saberho. Honestly, like, Saberho should really mean for guys. Yeah.
Because you're thinking this is the man you're building a life with. So what
don't
can
save
you
him.
He
don't want to be saved. He don't want to be saved. What children? Where are you going to put the children? First you have to have a house. No?
A shoebox. So in total we learned that Jeff invested £131,000.
Listen to me.
Lighthouse.
Listen to me.
God, just send it like manna from the sky. I would
from
never
the sky.
do this.
If that's what we're doing here, because I promise you, Lord Jesus, on high, I would not squander such money. I wouldn't do it. And the thing is, he doesn't even say that he gave it to them. He says that he invested it. Babes, you wasted it. You lost it.
It's not an investment when there's no return.
What's the return? And there was never, obviously every investment comes with risks, whatever, but they literally was never, you spent it. It's like me going to Zara and be like, I invested money in these. Bro, you bought a pair of shoes. You're going to wear them 10 times. You're going to get bored. You're going to throw them away. That's not an investment.
But I also think I'm very
risk averse.
Not just that, but I try to stay away from things like this because I do know that I'm probably one of the most likely people most people knows to join a cult.
But I don't think you would. I think when they start talking money, you would be like, nah.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's when you would draw the line.
Yeah, I think
you'd be like, I've made nothing from you, and you want my money. I think that's when you'd wake up, stand up.
I stand up.
You might join a cult for like vibes and stuff, but I think when it comes to like when they start asking for thousands of pounds, I think you'd be like,
I'd definitely be most likely to be like naked in a commune somewhere, like having
a commune.
Orgies,
a commune, maybe not cult.
Eating mushrooms and stuff. But once they start telling me payment, money, my bank account, nah,
I'm out.
The spirit of the Black Panther will wake me
rise up within.
So we learned there are 4 levels to like human existence, right?
According to Paul.
Yeah. So number 1 is like chaotic and childlike. 2 are the followers who are institutionalized, follow religion blindly. 3 are the skeptics, so like scientists. And 4 are the mystic people, higher consciousness, in touch with nature. And of course, everyone in Lighthouse is level 1.
And Paul
somehow just Paul is level 4. And
Paul is level 4, of course.
And Paul says you can only reach your goals when you attain a level 4. So of course, in order to try to attain that level 4, you need Lighthouse. Hence, you keep funneling money, thinking that once you get to that level 4, you'll start to make
everything
money.
will be fine.
Because this millionaire from South Africa is telling you that. So Lighthouse would work on alienating people from their family and friends and loved ones. And we hear on a tape, Paul is like degrading Dawn, just trying to get rid of her, saying some really horrible things. And Jeff is going back and forth with Jay and himself on tapes, just talking about how he loves Dawn. She has a really good heart, but she doesn't align with the work he's doing there. And Jay's obviously like, she doesn't love you, get rid of her. It's all just a mess. And again, Dawn would
alone.
Dawn would sit in the house, in a home-free house, listen to Jeff having all these conversations, and still think, girl, BFFR.
No, for real. Because, and even there's one point where Jay is like, oh yeah, Jeff, like one day you're gonna snap and you're gonna kill her. Kill? If I hear kill,
I
for
am
what?
out
I'm out
so quick.
I've been out. I'm so sorry. I didn't even make it to this part.
Literally.
I didn't make it to level 1. I didn't make it to level 4. Like, I am out. This is madness. And sometimes I just feel like, I know you love people and you care about people and you want the best for them, yeah, but sometimes it's like, it's me or it's you, and I'm gonna choose me every single time.
Every single time. Yeah. It's always gonna be me.
Like, what is this? 6 months in, brother. Oh, at this point it probably was 2 years in, but even at the 6 months we were seeing signs of this.
Kat and her team tracked down over 40 people who are members of Lighthouse, and we learned that like the history of this like cult. So they've changed names twice. Members have spent thousands of pounds, and
hundreds of thousands,
and are broke while Paul lives in a mansion.
But the man them are in shared accommodation. What?
I just think people are stupid. Anyways, so we meet
this man.
The end. Literally, there's full stop.
Jeff was there in total for 3 years, and Simon for 4 years. How do you explain the 3-year gap on your CV, please? How do you explain that? What do you say?
You have to say you were sick.
I saw this video and it was like, you should say you're taking care of a sick family member.
Yeah, you have to say that. Honestly, there's nothing else you can say. Or you can't come out and say this kind of thing because nobody will fucking hire you.
Now we worry about your judgment.
Yeah. So we meet Martin, whose daughter is Mel, and she is still in the cult.
Oh, Martin, man.
Yeah, I feel for him. So she met Chris, who was one of the mentors, on a dating app. So you're not safe anyway. You can't even go on fucking Tinder, like, or Hinge.
Mate, all you want to do is find love. Now,
literally, like, before, the scariest thing you could get from there is like chlamydia. Now you're going to join a cult.
And negative credit.
So she met him on a dating app. Then she joined the cult. And she took £25,000 out in loans and left her job to join Lighthouse.
And so I had a phone call with her and I said, look, all this research I've done, these guys are absolute crooks. The next day, Chris and somebody else from the group came and took her away. One feels so powerless in a situation like that. You feel, what can I do? I mean, you can write to the police, nothing happens.
And basically that was the last time he saw his child.
That's wild.
And the person who like posts on internet everything, he says that it's not his daughter. He's lost his daughter.
Yeah, he's like, she's died.
He's gone.
He's so sad, man. But I also love him because he's like, listen, like, I am an old man. I'm self-employed. Like, I've got time today. Like, yeah. I'm here to talk about this in the documentary because what are you going to do to me? Because they've been attacking people who speak badly of them. You can't call my employer. I am my employer. Like, so what are you gonna do?
Oh, that's so sad.
It's really sad. It reminds me of I don't know if you watched The Puppet Master. Did you watch that on Netflix?
I did, because she's now kind of missing with him, isn't she?
Yeah, but there's one. But then he had other victims or other survivors of his madness. And this girl, basically, they were at uni. He now says he was in the FBI or whatever.
I saw that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then,
in the documentary, they speak to her dad, I think it was. And she came home one day to kind of like sneak and get money in her passport and stuff. And he saw her. And then she like left was like, yeah, no, I'm going. And he just was just like, rah, like my daughter's gone. Like,
she's gone. Yeah, I remember that. So we meet Anthony, and he struggles with anxiety. So after his masters, he had a breakdown and he attempted to unalive himself. So whilst he was on the mend, he meets Jay, which is just like, God, how can you meet this kind of horrible person
after you've already been saved? Yeah.
So Jay claims that Lighthouse would be the cure for Anthony's depression. Can you imagine?
Like, piss off. Who
like,
are you?
Piss the fuck off. So Jay told Anthony to basically, starts to coach Anthony on how to like on things to say to his doctor to
reduce the medication.
Get the doctor to believe he was doing better so they could reduce the medication. Essentially, like getting somebody to come off meds when you're not certified, you're not a therapist,
and you also don't even care about him.
You don't care. You have no. So this guy could essentially come off of the medication and hurt himself.
Exactly.
And you don't care.
So you can get some money.
So, yeah. So when Anthony would ask questions around money and what was going on with the money that he was handing to Lighthouse, they would gaslight him and tell him that, oh, he's acting crazy because of he's coming off his meds and he's having like delusions and things like that. And he was like, I'm not experiencing these things. Like, I'm very certain and sure of what I'm saying. So eventually he leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, he gets suspicious because he gives them money, but there's like no contract.
Yeah.
So Anthony's like, this is weird. This is very strange.
Yeah. He's clued up.
Yeah. And he tells people. He emails them, other people, being like, hey, this is a cult, by the way. And then he gets threatened with a lawsuit.
People need to just know that anyone can say they're going to take you to court. It doesn't mean that they can and they will.
And even if they take you, it doesn't mean that anything's going to happen.
Yeah. Anybody can be in court. Anybody can be in court. It doesn't mean a fucking thing. So we meet another member who has her identity hidden, and she had handed over 35k and remortgaged her house to Lighthouse. God. This is really sad. So trigger warning. She opens up about being sexually abused when she was a kid, and she says that a lot of the time they were like, especially Paul was like obsessed with like this sexual abuse, and they kept pushing her to take legal action against her parents and to sue them and get the money, which obviously would have gone back to Lighthouse. And then when she starts to question some of the things they're like doing or like where the money is going, we hear this audio, this horrific audio of Paul basically verbally abusing her and telling her that she acts this way because of the abuse that happened to her and she's not a normal person, and how does she think that she could be normal when this, like, it was just horrible, like really verbally abusive. So after that she left, and obviously you can tell that she's still traumatized, because if she wasn't, she would show like her face and everything. She doesn't want, she's afraid of what So when people leave Lighthouse, they are bullied, their workplace is contacted, they are hunted down. Lighthouse sends very disparaging emails telling lies about them. This is giving
Jane O'Brien media.
Honestly, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like Tickle Me or what, like,
yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane. So Kat goes to speak to some experts, and basically they confirm, spoiler alert, they confirm what we've all known, that it is in fact a cult. Dr. Alexandra Stein says Lighthouse is basically the classic definition of a cult, and just because it's not in California, people aren't wearing orange robes, a lot of people don't see it as a cult, but it is a cult. And she's had fracas with them as well.
Yeah, she was in a cult back in the day. I was like, wow, I didn't realize that she was in. I want to hear that story.
Yeah, I would love to hear that story. So there's this funny reenactment which includes Simon himself of how he left Lighthouse and his own home that Tom was
bro.
It was just funny. I don't know why they included it. It was just funny, especially because he did it. Like, why did they do that?
I listen. Questions, no answers.
So now we want to learn about if Paul is actually all these things he says he is.
Spoiler alert, he's not.
So
surprise. Who is surprised? Raise your hands.
So Kat speaks to a journalist in South Africa who basically like does some very, very basic research into Paul, and it's like, he wasn't a millionaire. There was a point where he was struggling to pay rent. He was just grasping at straws. Like, he was someone that was trying his luck at a million things and they didn't work. And I guess, like, if all else fails, become a cult leader. That works.
And that seems to be really the reoccurring theme.
Yeah. So it becomes apparent that Lighthouse members as a whole have 17 CCJs against them, and the debt totals over 87k, 20k of which is ding 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 Jay's. So obviously, like, it's a bit deep because it's like Jay himself is a perpetrator, but he's also a victim. But he's been in this cult for so long. It's like he's too indoctrinated. There's
he can't get out.
He can't
and
get
it's almost
out.
like he's like paying off his debt by being like, do you know what I mean? It's like he's both, isn't it? Like two things.
And
can
it's
be
almost
true.
like if he steps out of this, then he has to deal with real life. And first of all, he must have a mad gap in his CV that cannot be
100%.
explained, because there's no sick relative you're taking care of for over how many years.
Yeah.
And then second of all, like, you have all these CCJs, so really where can you work? So
but then this is why cults are so dangerous, because it's like they isolate you from your family, so now you don't have like those kind of connections or that kind of support. They isolate you from like society. You're literally living in a house full of people who are indoctrinated in the same way. You can't just go and buy food. You don't have money for yourself. You don't have a place to live. So say you leave now, like what are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go?
And it's worse, it's sad because Jay has obviously brought his younger brother in as well.
Yeah.
So it's like,
so
I
sad.
wonder what his family thinks. Like,
oh, it's like, you know that documentary on Disney Plus, this Cult of Sarah Lawrence, where there was like a one of the girls brought her. There was a boy initially. He was the boyfriend of the guy's daughter, because basically with that documentary, he stays at his daughter's like dorm, like in their house, their uni house. He comes to stay in the uni house and basically makes it a cult, so they all basically follow him and like stop talking to their family members. So one of the boys there, he gets his younger sister, and then he gets his older sister who was a doctor, and she doesn't finish her exams, like she leaves and comes to stay with him. It's actually, so watch it on Disney Plus. It's on Hulu, but Disney Plus here. It's called The Cult of Sarah Lawrence. It is crazy. So that guy, all two of his siblings, three of them, the parents are in it as well. Your three children have all been indoctrinated into this cult. Two of them have wised up and finally left. One of them was still with him anyway at the time they were doing the documentary. It's so crazy.
wait, did you say the parents are in it?
In the documentary, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant they're in the cult as well.
No,
I was like,
they're in
if
the
the whole
documentary.
family's in the cult, then you might as well just stay.
Then it's a family. No, they're
Like,
in
if
the
my whole family was
documentary.
in the cult, then it's best for me to just be in it. Like, we
Might as
thug it
well.
out together. So of this 87k and 17 CCJs, Paul has
That's
none.
wild stats, fam.
Wild. Like, these are the statistics your self-improvement group is put
These
in.
things we know to be true.
Right. So of all of that, Paul has none. He has no such debt, no such CCJ. He lives in a mansion and he drives a Range. Happy days. So the relationship Paul claimed to have with the author was also fake. A basic email verified that these are all basic things that people within the cult could have done for themselves.
That anybody could have done, exactly.
But hey ho.
exactly.
And then they just drop this. This is what I mean. They say a lot of things in this documentary that, why did you say it? Like, expand or don't say it at all. They were like, oh, like, she was like, oh, we learned that Paul liked to show videos of himself having sex with women. And I was like, huh? Like, I was like, okay, is this where the sexual element of, because there's always a sexual element of a cult.
Yeah, with these cults, yeah.
And I was sitting forward, and then she was like, but and there's been some breaking news. Lighthouse has been taken to, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So you're not going to expand on him showing.
Why did we mention this then? What did this add?
What was it? Literally, she was like, there's been court proceedings, and I'm thinking, oh, these court proceedings are like maybe
pertaining
a sexual
to the sex?
No, nothing. So why did you tell us that? You told us that for nothing. But yeah, basically Paul goes to court and the judge shuts down Lighthouse because he rules that they are acting against public interest. And the documentary's coming to a close right now. There's not much else that happens other than Paul comes out of court. Kat ambushes him the way she ambushed the Jobfisher.
Please listen to that episode or even
Yeah.
watch that documentary. That's on BBC as well.
Yeah.
Because it was literally like, okay, I'm not here for this guy, but like you're literally bombarding him as he's walking down the street. Like, can we have some decorum here?
And she did the same thing here. And like, it was just this rant about everybody being a paedophile. Like, anybody and everybody was a paedophile. Reddit is a paedophile website. And Kat is a Savile
what's this
supporter.
Paul? Oh yeah, Paul went on. You can hear it in the trailer. Paul went on, and I was just like, this man he's mad.
How do you feel, Paul, about the fact that so many people think you're running a cult?
We're not running a cult because they don't know what a cult is. They don't know. I tell you, if you ask them what's the difference between a cult and a community that supports people, they wouldn't be able to tell you.
Why do you think so many people say
Because
it?
they're slurring us, they're smearing us. That's exactly what they do. These parents are child abusers that you're supporting. And you supported Jimmy Savile, you.
Me?
You.
Okay.
You supported Jimmy Savile and his paedophilia. You're going to take that out, you're going to keep it in.
Well,
Keep
why
this
do
out,
you-
come close.
Why do you...
Paedophile supporter.
He's mad. And that's pretty much where the documentary ends. I mean,
Paul is a brokey as well. Like, he's actually a brokey. So it's like, where do you get?
but he took 1 point something million of the 2 point something million that went to Lighthouse. Paul took it to himself for himself.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a brokey on the inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be fair, he's renting the mansion he lives in. By
before
the way.
this, he was a brokey, and like, how is he really gonna get anything in his name and like set roots because
Yeah,
he's a
that's
brokey? Like,
true.
how do you explain this income? Your
Yeah.
company that you're incoming from, has been shut down.
And that's why he rents that mansion. You can't
That's what I'm
establish
saying.
anything solid on this kind of money. It's dirty. And so
Bro.
that is the end of that. Dawn is still with Jeff.
Yeah.
Simon says he never expected his life to be like this at 40, and so he's rebuilding and healing.
Yeah. I mean, he
And
has
that's
to
that.
in it. So
And that is fucking that.
yeah, Dawn and Jeff have a puppy. I just, do you know what, Dawn, you saved his life, honestly, and like there's nothing too great that man can do to repay you, and I hope that you're milking him for everything that he had. What does he have? I don't know, but hopefully he's rebuilt and you've milked him for that, because
You do all this for a man and he'll still cheat on you though, so I'm just saying, you have to always, I think in all things that we do for men, you have to remember you'll finish doing all this and he'll still cheat on you if he wants to.
okay.
Not all men cheat. My man has not, and I don't envision him doing so, but I do operate on the model that any man
It's possible.
Yeah, so as you're doing this, just know that whatever you're doing,
If you're
that
whatever you're doing, do it with
be
your chest,
comfort-
and know
yeah.
that you're happy doing it, because if this should
Don't
go
do-
left,
yeah,
yeah,
don't do and then say after all I did for you, because
yeah, because you did it.
yeah.
So
And
do
one
whatever
thing
you're
men
doing
always
with your
have is
chest.
the audacity. So, girl, I hope that as you've done this, you can look back and be like, even if he cheats tomorrow, that's that. That's my word of wisdom.
A word is enough for the wise.
It's enough for the motherfucking
My dad
wise.
always used to say that, like, he'll come and do some lecture, if I've done something wrong, and by something wrong, like not wash the plate or something, oh, a word is enough for the
Oh,
wise.
yeah, my mum always says that. She used to say that at the end of like her sex talk. My mum's sex talk for me was that AIDS is real. It doesn't show in the face. A word is enough for the wise.
Is that it?
Literally, for as long as I can remember, you tell her, oh, I like this word. They say AIDS is real. It doesn't show in the face. A word is enough for the wise.
It's so crazy that like their sex education was fear.
Literally,
It was
fear.
like, literally, you're going to get pregnant and you're going to die. Like Mean
You're going
Girls,
to get
like
pregnant and die.
you get
Literally.
pregnant and die.
Oh, my dad used to say, when you find that thing that you're looking for, you won't like it. That's what his sex talk
His version was.
my dad and I have never, he's never had a sex talk with me. I mean, obviously as a family, we joke about it now because we're older,
You're
we're
grown.
married. Yeah, we all fucking, but like,
Yeah.
literally my dad used to say when you were younger, like, if there's any talk of a boy who'd be like, when you find that thing that you're looking for, you won't like it. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
but you
bro,
found it and you love it, bro.
I found it and I love that shit. That shit slaps. Okay. So you were
My
wrong, motherfucker.
My dad just used to say to me, like, anyway, men are mad, so when you go out, cover your drink. When you are like, I would be like
but
9.
That is no, okay.
No,
early.
I was in
good
primary
good.
school. This is
No,
why
but
I'm the way that I am.
No, but it was good. What's the word I'm looking
Preparation.
for? Yeah, but just very early. He was
Early.
too ahead. Too
He was
ahead of
like
his
me.
time. Way
It
too
was
ahead.
like, when you go out, if you drop your drink and you go to the toilet, don't pick up that same drink. Make sure you cover. I was thinking, bro, I literally am drinking like Ribena, like what Capri Sun, like
There's
what's are we
spike in
talking
your
about?
Spanish fly in the Ribena, like
In the Ribena, in the Ribena.
No.
Madness.
Your dad. Do you know what? Good advice. It was just that he was
ahead
light
of his time.
years ahead of his time. As in light years.
But it was, I can recall having like a sex talk more with my dad than with my mum. Like my dad was more like, and even like when I used to like boys and stuff, like I probably talked to my dad a bit more about it than my mum.
Yeah. No, I think my mum and was well. My mum, I don't know. My mum was open about having boyfriends, but like we didn't talk about sex. Even though we were very close. And then as we got older,
that's the cultural part of things.
yeah, as we got older now we do.
Yeah.
But like, Yeah, her sex talk to me when I was younger is just that AIDS is real. It doesn't show on the face.
A word is enough for the what?
Literally. And I'm not gonna lie, that shit stuck with me. I always used to be like, oh shit, I might get AIDS. Like,
yeah, but nothing shows on the face. Chlamydia, all them things, gonorrhea.
But it's just that AIDS is the one that they knew. So
back then, innit? Yeah, that was there. Yeah,
all of them could have been catching all sorts, but as long as
it wasn't AIDS, yeah, fam, you good, man. Because I guess back then it was peak, innit? Because like it wasn't.
Yeah, they would always have all these stories of people who they said died, like just went back to the village, but then when they went to the funeral, the person was very skinny, and everybody suspects it's AIDS because they were like spreading it low and wide. And I'm like, hun.
We thank God for growth and times because
but she still does say AIDS. She says it in pidgin. She says, AIDS no they show for face. She still says it as a joke, and I just find it so fucking funny.
But yeah, now it's time for
the real crime. I think was the beard.
Our segment where we focus on something during the documentary that may not be criminal, but we definitely consider to be a crime. Have you got one?
It was just the reenactment.
Oh, the Simon one.
I don't.
Yeah, he was doing a lot.
Thing. It was
unnecessary.
This
moment though, innit?
Yeah.
Mine was.
And I find reenactments funny because when the person does it, because like expectedly it's like a traumatic experience, and then you're coming back to react, like you're acting out. Yeah, like
not only are you like telling us about it, but you're then literally are like, this is how it happened,
and then you'll show it like, and then there must have been times when they were like, cut, and then you do it again, you bring back the emotion. Like,
do you know what? It's so funny because I think I was listening to one of Rabia's podcasts, I don't know where it was, and she was talking about how she was in a documentary, and she was like how they were saying, oh, like basically like walk to your car, in it, like so they can get a shot of you like walking to your car. And she was like, it was just so awkward because it was like walk to your car, something you do every day, but now it's like an action,
it's a thing,
an action, another take, and it's just awkward. Like, how do I walk again? Like, how do I?
Yeah.
But yeah, mine was, there was this bit where this lady rented this house to Paul, but bare people lived there. So it's one of the like cult houses, yeah. And she said that somebody had a deep freezer full of meat in one of the bedrooms.
And they left that meat
to me,
there.
That's criminal. That's criminal.
That's criminal, but it's also criminal to leave that amount of meat there.
That's criminal.
Because meat is expensive.
How do we know he's not a cult member that is in that freezer?
That is true. Because I was about to say, you lot's already in debt. You should be preserving over you. But yeah,
you
that's
should
true.
be eating veg, lentils, grains.
And you know how UK police officers are. They probably wouldn't even test the meat, even if it was dropped in front of them in the shape of a human body and there was a head there. They would still say there was. it was.
It's like chicken to me.
Yeah, it was inconclusive. It was probably chicken. Like, please.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But next,
that was a very dumb documentary. Next, we're doing the credits. This credits, I actually saw the suggestion. Someone sent us a message on Twitter or tweeted us or whatever. Yeah. And shout out to you, sis, because you've been supporting for time and we love and appreciate you. And this is an amazing idea. I can only imagine that this was inspired by our most recent episode, Tickled, where we literally went on bare tangents of bare different songs. But essentially, we're gonna do a credits just about like the best songs, from TV shows. Also, there's this like thread going around on Twitter at the moment saying who's the best like fictional artist. Like music artist.
Was Steve Smith in there?
Probably, but I don't watch thingy, so I don't recognize him. But there was one American Dad looking guy. Maybe it was him.
Yeah, I just watched an episode where he did Trapped in the Closet.
Stop it.
I'm telling you, Steve Smith, that nigga goes hard.
Yeah, also I remember the group from Psych, they're called Black Acapella.
The group from what?
From the TV show Psych, they're called Black Acapella.
I never watched Psych.
That's the name of the quartet.
Okay.
But they're good too. But yes, anyway, so next week we're going to go through that.
Some theme songs in there though, because there's one that really bothers me that I want to talk about.
Okay, we can do that. That's fine. We're going to go back and forth. You people come with your list also. Join in the convo. You can tweet us and all that. If you've got any between now and... Okay, we're recording on Sunday, innit? So if
we're between now and now.
But as you are listening to this currently, if the episode's not up, if you've got any that you want us to include or that you think is amazing, then just add us on Twitter and send it and we'll include it. But I'm so excited. I've been thinking about them all day.
Yeah, me too.
But so no trailer because we're gonna do a credits. But that's it then. That's it now from us. You can find us in all the normal places. Yeah. 2 Girls 1 Doc, and on TikTok it's 2 Girls 1 Doc podcast, and rate us.
We'll
do a
be
little
back with some
rating thing.
Some TikToks. Life's just been
life in
busy. Yeah, like just for context, like I'm essentially moving out. By the time you guys listen to this, the following weekend will be like my last weekend at home. It's been lots of tears. I think it's just hit all of us. So, yeah, it's been very busy.
Oh,
very busy.
Moshiana.
Very busy. But
I'm also moving and I have no idea where to, so hold tight that. So hopefully I won't also be home free, much like Jeff. So
no, you
I ain't gonna laugh too. I'm not gonna laugh too loud about that one, boy. But so yeah, thank you so much for rocking with us. We appreciate you very, very much, and we will see you next week.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
I'll pick up, man.
Welcome to the O2 messaging.
I'll try his other number. Probably asleep as well. Fucking hell.
At 8:13.
He sleeps quite early though.
Obviously, 7 habits of highly effective people.
That's the right one. He has 2 phones. Again, another habit. Let me see the other call. Oh, so if he doesn't pick up. I'm not on the same one. I can never tell. Who knows if he's fucking? It's not another habit of highly effective people, I guess. Oh, it's such a shame because I know for a fact this guy's read this.
No, when he calls you back, just be like, oh, I'm gonna call you back in a second.
He would tick everything off of Jeff to the he would tick everything off of Jay to the extent where, like, if him and Dawn, so if Jeff and Dawn had an argument, he would explain it to Jeff. There's too many J's in this.
There's hella J's. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. This picture of you in the back,
Which picture of me?
This picture of you in the back.
Oh my gosh, I fucking hate that picture. I want to burn it.
Do not burn it.
No, I hate it so much.
Do not burn it.
I hid it under my bed for ages. Then when I redid my room, my sister found it. She brought it out. She put it downstairs. I hid it again. She found it. Then my mum said, just leave it in my office. I like it. I want to look at it.
Yeah, but that's like that picture of me. You know the one I'm talking about in my mum's house. That she framed it.
The trousers.
She puts it on it. She framed it and put it in.
Yeah, but that's different, man. This is wild.
No, but that was your face.
Why?
You were a child. This is what children look. Well, not anymore, but this is what children used to look like.
My kid's gonna look like that. Every kid. I think it's good for your
character development.
Yeah, if you go through that phase. I don't like when kids grow up now. Like it builds
they don't have an
some
ugly face.
Character. Yeah,
they don't go to the hair shop and get lip gloss. They don't do all that.
Nah, my kids doing all of that. So
100%.
We're bringing back the childhood.
They're gonna go burnt oak and get the the burnt oak hair shop lip gloss. That's what they're gonna do.
That's what you gonna do. So yeah, Jay starts encouraging Jeff to sell his house, and 2.5 years after Jay met Jeff, Jay. Oh God, I'm gonna lose my mind. I can't do this anymore.
Jeff. Jeffy J. Jazzy Jeff.
So Karen and her team tracked down
cats.
Yeah, Mariam Musa would do really good in this cult as a leader.
Who?
Mariam Musa from SPAC Nation. Oh
no, you are. That is not who you think it is.
What's her name?
Our influencer, huh? Mariam Mola.
I knew it was an M.
Musa is the influencer. Please, let's leave her out of it.
Sus babes, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.